all right. Welcome back. You know what time it is. That's right. Fan in the Van podcast time. Well, as you almost stumble there and you haven't even had a beer.
I don't drink either, really.
Yeah, well, cheers to that.
You're a Giants baby all day.
Now,
thank you, Philly.
You know what? It's a good thing you brought that up. Because I wasn't going to go into that, but I gotta bring it up here. Why, for the life of me, okay, are certain Giant players coming out blaming Philly for them not being in the playoffs? Why are certain Giants fans coming out blaming Philly for the Giants not being in the playoffs? You know who Giants fans should blame?
Themselves?
The Giants team.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole variety of reasons why you guys aren't in the playoffs. But here's the main reason. You have a schedule. You have teams on that schedule, right?
Yep.
Did you beat the teams you were supposed to beat? No.
No. And to be honest with you, I'll lay
end of story. That's why they aren't in the
playoffs. I'll lay it all right now. Every game, we lost by one score, besides the game against the 49ers, the game against you guys. Okay? Now, the first Philadelphia Eagles game, we were up by 11. With 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we blew that. Boom.
Yeah.
Every other game, we lost by 1, by 2, by 3. You know, and we didn't have Saquon
but for Eli to come out and say this is why we don't like the Eagles, I'm sorry, that was just
stupid.
That was just the dumbest thing you could possibly say.
Well, he knew on Twitter. He probably didn't know how to use the fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure somebody will fact check him and he'll get his Twitter account suspended like the president did. So, but it's just fascinating how you never want to be a team going into Week 17, and it's so depressing that Week 17 is come and gone already.
No.
But you don't want to be that team that has to scoreboard watch.
I know, especially at 6-10, you don't belong in the playoffs.
I don't think any of them should have been. I think honestly they should have just made a playoff system without the NFC East in it because it's just so abysmal as it is. But hey, you know what? Washington did the unthinkable.
They did actually.
Listen, they beat my team. Hey, they were just a better team that night. Let's just call it what it is. Ron Rivera. You want to talk about a guy who should win?
Coach of the year after what he's been through.
And even though I said all year that Tomlin should win it based on 14 straight winning seasons, we had the 11-0 streak. But if you really want me to be honest, and you really want to take it away from, if you want to take it from the standpoint of a guy who literally fought all year on and off the field for his team, is Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
The fact that during games he was getting treatments.
Yeah, I know.
So he could finish games.
He wasn't at home.
I got to give it to him.
Hell yeah.
He was right there on the sidelines. He coached from home.
I got to give it to Alex Smith too, though.
Comeback player of the year. Without a doubt, you give it back to him.
Dude, that dude.
Yeah, you have to give it to him. And if you're one of those fans that says no to either or, you're probably an incest baby.
Yeah. Or just don't watch football. But anyway.
Yeah. So now we get wild card weekend. All right.
Which is, when in 2007, 2011 is my favorite part of the year, but it has been.
But we're not in 2007 or 2011, so.
Hey, 2016 we made the playoffs too.
Yeah, but
we lost to Green Bay. Shut up.
Yeah. So pretty much we broke down our picks and our Super Bowl matchups.
Yes.
So I already know I'm gonna catch flack for it when everybody watches this video. I know my buddy Sal is gonna, he's gonna say something because his Final Four is Chiefs Bills, and I think it's the Saints Packers he took, or the Seahawks Packers, one of the two. Well, actually no, I think it was. I'm trying to remember because I scrolled through it real fast. I know Tampa's in it, so I think it was Tampa and the Seahawks maybe, because I don't think you would pick the Aints as he likes to call them.
Yeah, but the Seahawks aren't gonna make that into Super Bowl either.
Well, it's his Final Four pick. He's entitled to it.
And you gotta understand something, like if the way you break down, the way I've broken down, that's just going through New Orleans.
I mean,
the Dome.
And the only saving grace is for New Orleans to have Kamara is that this game's Sunday, not Saturday.
And Michael Thomas.
Which means if Kamara's activated to play, Steelers going to get Hayden back hopefully for that game too. And we got to talk about. Listen, and again, I know we've you know, and again before you hopped on this with me, and I ripped Tennessee, I ripped Baltimore,
Now it's Cleveland's turn.
I ripped every possible team you could think of, but Cleveland has slid under the microscope all year because it's always been one player here or a coach here. But if you notice, it's been consistent. And I tried going back today earlier at work to see how far back this really goes. And I'm just going to say it started week 5. I'm just going to say that. Every week since week 5,
Yeah, Baker Mayfield got
they've had a player or a coach or both on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's ever been investigated as to how. But yet they're so quick, the NFL and Roger Goodell, to sit there and say, oh, well, now we're going to find you, Baltimore, yeah, here's $250,000.
Sure
but nobody's looking into Cleveland.
Maybe that's only because there was a case here and there. It wasn't 22
It was
like the
week.
Ravens. But now, every day there's two more people.
And not only that, you got to... And
You have to understand.
to take it off the COVID part for a minute,
There's the playoffs, bro.
Cleveland, as an organization, as a fan base, this is why you're hated the most. After you beat a Mason Rudolph-led team with a makeshift offense and a makeshift defense,
By 2.
by 2, mind you,
Where the pass
that
interference.
you let Mason Rudolph almost beat you, okay? And the refs helped you in that game. Let's just call it what it is.
Oh, yeah.
All right, all the missed pass interferences, all the holding calls missed, and now it wasn't just that game; it was across the league.
Yeah, well.
And a lot of sports analysts came out. They said if that's the officiating that we got in Week 17 in the playoffs, get ready for some huge upsets.
Yo, some serious
All right.
Yo, this shit don't change next year. I'm gonna be pissed.
So I don't know if they got to go back to like NFL officiating school, read NFL officiating for dummies. I don't know what they got to do, but they got to do something to correct it.
Hey.
And again, my personal theory on it is you need to have an official or two sitting in a booth that's watching the game saying, hey, and I'm not saying call every single holding call or
When
every
you
single
choke
pass interference
slam
call.
and drop to the floor, come
But
on.
If you take case in point, and I'm going to use, you know who I'm going with it as the prime example here.
What?
I'm going with TJ on this.
And was Highsmith last week, too.
Because TJ, every game,
He gets choked.
would have 1 to 2 more sacks per game if he wasn't putting in a rear naked choke like it was Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Okay,
and the ref
Bottom
is
line.
standing right there too.
Bottom line, you can give me the the ref was shielded, and this is where the 2 officials in a booth. I don't care where they are within the stadium.
Mhm.
You could be sitting in, you could be in Bakerland, okay, in
Well, Baker
Cleveland.
lives there, so.
Okay, you could be in Bakerland in Baker Mayfield's bedroom watching the game for all I care, but they got to get it right. You got to get it right. It's utterly. It's just you watch it, especially now. These
in the
games
playoffs,
have more meaning.
They
now.
have to seriously, dude. They have to.
And there's some
I give Mason Rudolph credit for getting in that ref's face about that pass interference call. That was clear as day.
Yeah, well,
He was pissed.
but speaking of Mason, though, after that game, everybody, all the keyboard warriors, the fake Steeler fans who, and regular Steeler fans too. Oh, Mason proved he could take over for Ben. No.
One game doesn't show me nothing.
This game and last season is not a big enough sample size. And with Ben still being here, Mason doesn't ever get the chance to do it. I read somewhere where someone said Dobbs is ready to.
Nope.
Listen, Dobbs is good in certain packages. Dobbs is not the answer as the full-time quarterback. The answer to the full-time quarterback is out there within the league already. It's just a matter of who fits the system.
I kind of think I know who it is.
There's a variety of people who can, and I'm sorry, I don't want Carson Wentz. I don't want Jimmy Garbage Garoppolo.
No.
I do not want either one of them.
And the Jets do take Justin Fields too. That means Sam Donald's on the way out.
Yeah, and everybody's writing that the Jets are going to make this they're going to make a blockbuster trade, and Darnold's part of it, and it's a matter of to where he goes, and a lot of people are assuming it's the Steelers.
I think he'll be okay there.
And
because of the offensive line, I'm telling you.
My take on it is this. Looking at all the mock drafts, And a lot of them have the Jets taking Zach Wilson. Now, again, I haven't seen enough of Zach Wilson, but I've seen enough of Justin Fields to know that if you don't take Justin Fields and you take Zach Wilson,
you're David Gettleman.
You are going backwards.
You're David Gettleman.
Not only that, the Jets have $75 million in cap space coming up.
It's a lot.
Okay? With $75 million, why don't you draft Sewell out of Oregon and build around Darnold? I just figured it out, Joe Douglas, and I'm not an NFL exec. Because he's the guy, again, remember, who came out and said Darnold's the future quarterback of this team.
Yeah, but they also declined his fifth-year option as well.
So how are you saying that? Then, if I didn't hear anything about it, but if you're saying it,
I heard it.
Then, so let's say in theory that they declined the fifth-year option.
You know what I'm saying? But they might give him whatever.
But still, you mean to tell me with a whole lot of free agents out there in the offensive and defensive field market, it's going to become. You mean to tell me you can't build around Sam Darnold?
You definitely could.
Okay, yeah, you can. But this is the Jet organization again, and the Johnson brothers came out and said, we got to put a winning product on the field. You know what's funny though? You've been saying it for 2 decades, and what have you put on the field other than your 1 to 2 great seasons with butt fumble Sanchez?
Okay. Rex Ryan
and listen, you can knock Rex Ryan all you want, but Rex Ryan took that team and got him to an AFC Championship game. Not once, but twice. But hey, they lost to Pittsburgh in one of them, so whatever.
That shit happens on any given Sunday.
But before we get to that, before we get to our breakdowns of it, because they're very different in ways.
Well, yes.
And I did that because I want to see.
I know.
I want to hear everybody else's take on it, and I know when they watch it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what are you kidding me?" Because and again, people I know already said nobody's picking the Steelers past the Browns game. But yeah, pretty much once they get into the first round, they're done. Even Rich Eisen said it earlier on NFL Network. Which Steeler team do you get? The beginning or during the downward spiral? And with a lot of key pieces coming back, case in point, Spillane will be back. Hayden's back. Hayden will be back. Boswell will be back. Edmonds was out. He'll be back. I'm telling you right now, expect the 11-0 Steelers.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because if you get the 11-0 Steelers, I'm not saying it's a cakewalk to the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs are not going to have a fun time in their own stadium.
But what I'm saying is that these past few weeks, you guys' defense did decline from the beginning.
Oh yeah, it definitely has. But again,
that has to step up though.
But again, there was injuries and losing Bud Dupree is a huge.
Blown.
Yeah, well, Edmonds needs to tighten that up.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully, he watched some tapes of his horrible play over the course of the year. And maybe he watched somewhere he actually stepped up and made a key play and realizes, hey, I got to do that because he's another guy who, this is a contract year for him too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he commands a lot of money, but if he's gonna blow huge chunks in the playoffs, bye, see you later. That's it. Well, yeah, Cam Sutton would be a great fill in there.
Hey, if he can't do it, somebody else can.
Now, we gotta go and antagonize all the haters now. But you get to go with your picks first. I'll be a gentleman.
Okay. Week 1, clearly, obviously, Chiefs have the bye. Everybody knows that. Now we got Colts at Buffalo, Browns at Steelers, Ravens at Titans. Clearly, Buffalo. I have Buffalo beating the Colts. I got the Steelers beating the Browns, and I have the Ravens beating the Titans this time. And yes, I did say that the Ravens beating the Titans in Tennessee. Yes, I do have that. For the NFC, I got the Packers got the bye. I got the Bucks at the WFT. All right, watch the football team.
Oh, they still haven't picked the damn name yet?
No.
I don't think they're ever going to.
I got the Bucks winning that one, clear as day. Rams at Seattle. I got the Seahawks winning that one. And I got Bears at Saints. All right, the Saints are going to have Michael Thomas and Kamara back. All right. Sorry, guys. Saints got that one. Boom. All right. Week 2 is the AFC. Right. No, it's the divisional round. I got one Ravens at Chiefs. Got the Chiefs winning that one. Bye bye Ravens. Steelers at Buffalo. I got the Steelers winning that one. Not because my friend is a Steelers fan, my fiance is still a fan. I just honestly believe it's gonna happen. Josh Allen is not gonna be the Josh Allen of the past 4 weeks. Because you gotta understand something. This is the first time he's ever been in the playoffs. What happened to the first time Lamar Jackson was in the playoffs? He choked. The Steelers know how to play postseason games. That being said, NFC playoff picture. All right, divisional round. I got the Bucks at Green Bay. I got the Packers winning that one, hands down. Sorry to say. Tom Brady, I do not want to see another Super Bowl with you in. This is not happening. I got the Seahawks at Saints in the Dome. I got the Saints winning that one as well because Michael Thomas and Kamara will be there. Okay, now we got the conference finals. You got Buffalo versus Packers.
What do you have, who?
Wait.
Yeah, that'd be the NFC Championship.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
No, AFC.
Yeah, AFC. So you would have Steelers versus the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, right here. Duh. Okay. Would have that down. Oh yeah, right here. Bam. All right. I got the let's see, Chiefs there, Steelers there. I got the Steelers versus Chiefs. I'm sorry guys, but
Yeah, you can say it.
I had the Chiefs winning that one.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Packers versus Saints. It's gonna be going through Green Bay. I'm sorry to say. I got Saints winning that one. So my Super Bowl picks is going to be Chiefs versus Packers in Tampa, or I could be wrong. It'd be Chiefs versus Saints, or I could be wrong again. It could be Steelers versus Steelers versus Saints or Steelers versus Packers. It all depends on who wins. I was iffy about the Steelers Buffalo game. I mean the Steelers Chiefs game.
Well, I'll tell you now, nobody wants to see the All-State Super Bowl.
I also want
to with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. I don't.
Yep.
So.
First of all, as soon as the Patriots dynasty went down, I thought it was enemy seeing another Tom Brady Super Bowl. I do not want to see another Tom Brady Super Bowl.
Well, then allow me to have the floor now.
Oh, I read it. Oh God, here we go. Tell me,
okay.
This motherfucker is out of the Super Bowl.
All right. So you got Buffalo and the Colts. As much as I like to see Buffalo get beat in this game, because you have Mayor Blomo there, and I'm telling you, somebody in Buffalo's throwing a dildo with this guy. I'm telling you, somebody's throwing a dildo.
He actually came out today. He's not going.
Oh, he's not going. Yeah, because he's afraid one of them's either going to try to put him through a table or throw a dildo at him.
Yeah, he's not going.
Fucking pussy. But whatever. So we got Buffalo beating the Colts, and then we got Ravens Titans. I'm sorry, Titans are taking that one.
Why say that? Give me a reason.
Why? Plain and simple. The Titans are Lamar's kryptonite.
Last year. You don't think the Ravens are starving?
I just don't think Lamar shows up again. I just don't think in the big spot Lamar can produce.
Well, all right, he didn't last year because he tried to run it a lot, but
and then even
I'm gonna give him his pass game did improve this year. It did.
Yeah, and so can an Asian woman striving, but what's the point?
The point is, I have the Ravens. I'm not saying it's gonna be a blowout. I have a 30-28 game.
I think honestly, it's a close game, but I think it comes down to Tannehill's gonna have the ball with 2 minutes left, and you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna pound it down the field with Derrick Henry, and they couldn't stop him last year. They couldn't stop him this year, and they're not stopping him again.
You don't think they're gonna try? You don't think they're come up with a play to stop? They're gonna stop him. They're gonna stop him.
There is no stopping Derrick Henry. There is no stopping him, really. Well, the Ravens don't have the answer to it, but the Steelers did.
I can stop him right the fucking now.
Steelers had the answer, just saying.
Yeah, they're going to run at me, I'll stop him.
But the thing is this. Obviously I picked Tennessee to win because I don't want to see the Ravens go past the wild card, because I just love to see the Ravens lose. Just like I'm going to love seeing the Browns lose. And yeah, Lamar improved a bit, but I don't see. I just for a team that was anointed the AFC champions before the season even began.
America's team. Shit.
No. So it's gonna be Ravens Titans with the Titans taking it. Obviously, I'm taking the Steelers, which leads you now to the first round after the wild card round.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have Chiefs Titans, you have Steelers Bills. Bottom line is this: we already know the Chiefs are gonna beat the Titans. Okay, Steelers are gonna beat the Bills, which gives you your AFC Championship game. Everybody wants to see the future Mahomes versus the guy who's trying to, ride off into the sunset with another Lombardi and Roethlisberger, right? The perfect story that only the NFL can write.
I got it too, right? I said the Ravens winning.
And this is where the haters are going to hate, but this is my pick. Obviously, I'm taking the Steelers to win the AFC Championship game, which now brings you to the NFC side of it. So you got Tampa and we can't pick a name for our own team, Washington. Clear as day, obviously, Tampa. Then you got the Rams, Seahawks. Even if Goff's playing in this game,
you won't know until, I think, Saturday at 1.
Even if Goff's
1
playing,
before.
They don't have enough
I don't think they do either.
to beat Seattle. And Seattle's defense lately has improved. Jamal Adams finally decided that he wants to play, and that's the key point. So, obviously, I'm taking Seattle there.
I am too.
And then you got the Bears versus the Saints. Originally, I was going to go with the Bears. But that was before the whole Kamara news and Thomas is back, and so we're gonna go with we're gonna go with Drew Brees and the Aints on this one. All right.
That's the whole reason why Drew Brees.
Which gives you now your first round, your divisional round. So you're gonna have Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady.
That's for you, okay?
Right. I'm taking Tampa. So for those watching and those listening, if you could predict the future, you already know where I'm going. Okay? And then you got the Aints. You got the Aints versus the Seahawks. All right? Seahawks squeeze this one out by a field goal.
In New Orleans.
In New Orleans. I think Drew Brees somehow is going to fold here. And this is how he goes out. He goes out on the losing end. I'm sorry. Hate to say it, but...
I say he goes out in the Super Bowl, yes, but not against the Seahawks.
No, they're not getting to the Super Bowl.
Yo, all you gotta do is put pressure on Russell Wilson, and he can't do shit.
Trust me. They're not going to be able to stop DK Metcalf.
Trust you, man. You have to be Buck going to the Super Bowl. Kidding me?
You just blew it. So now you got Bucks versus the Seahawks. Tampa goes to the Super Bowl, and you get the game everybody has wanted to see. Not an AFC Championship game, not an AFC playoff game, not a Week 16 Jesse James caught the ball still game. Okay, you get Roethlisberger versus Tom Brady on the biggest stage of them all, with the biggest prize on the line. And Big Ben does what only Big Ben could do best. He outs.
Hey, but
Tom
you're
Brady.
forgetting something. They're playing in Tampa, though, Super Bowl.
I don't give a shit where they're playing. Friggin' they could play on the Sands of Vega from Spaceballs for all I give a shit. Ben Roethlisberger is gonna outduel
I think so too.
Brady, and he's gonna show Antonio you made the biggest mistake ever leaving Pittsburgh. That has more of a storyline than Packers Chiefs or Chiefs Saints or Chiefs versus the Buccaneers or whatever other matchup you can think of. Or dare I even say the Bears making it to the Super Bowl. Okay? Brady versus Ben in the Super Bowl is the storyline everybody wants. And everybody can say, no, it's not what we want to see. It is what you want to see. Okay? That's it. It's what you want to see because the only time you've ever seen Ben against Brady has been in regular season and in playoffs. Never in the Super Bowl. Who wouldn't kill to see that? And just think of how much money will be put out there, gambled on that game.
Yeah,
and not only that, who does Vegas pick to be the favorite? Who's the underdog? And speaking of gambling, speaking of Mayor Blomo now, he's finally come to his senses because now that New York is in a $15 billion deficit, now he's going to announce, now he's going to try to make sports betting in New York and marijuana legal in New York. Oh, now you figured that out. Now you figured it out.
A while ago.
Any idiot with a brain figured that out when you saw how much Colorado made. And how about Michigan and Boston and recently New Jersey. In 1 month, $750 million.
Unfortunately, everybody and their neighbor smokes, okay?
All right. So, with that being said, Bucks Steelers Super Bowl. With Antonio thinking that he's going to win it because he's got his bromance Brady leading the charge. And what's Roethlisberger going to do? He's going to be the nail in Brady's coffin.
I got either the Chiefs versus the Packers because
I don't want to see. I don't want to see it all-state Super Bowl.
Yeah, because the whole thing is I'm iffy on the Saints and the Packers. That's gonna be a close game.
They're always close games, but I think the Packers honestly.
That's why I hit or.
If I was to pick, if that was to be my AFC Championship game, the NFC Championship game, Packers Saints. Aaron Rodgers beats Drew Brees.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, over the course of his career, the same way Brady has done it, has been able to take no-name guys that you've never heard of
I know.
and make them dangerous threats.
He proved this year.
Okay? Scandling? Who's ever heard of Scandling?
He caught a touchdown pass last week.
Okay? Lazar is another guy. Nobody's ever heard of him.
He's number 13, man. I do now.
Even their tight end, Tunyon. Who's ever heard of him? But yet these are guys that are now big names in Green Bay. So to even say, if you want to go back to last year's draft where Packers fans and even Aaron Rodgers is mad that, well, you didn't draft me any weapons.
He proved his damn point. I don't need nobody.
And for all that, and Green Bay's fans saying, oh, you didn't get him new weapons. Realize this. He makes his own weapons.
He's Aaron fucking Rodgers. That's why he's the MVP.
See, Green Bay fans want to see that big name come there to play alongside Rodgers, like how Brady has Mike Evans and how Ben had Brown and then Juju and he had Ward, which, by the way, NFL Hall of Fame committee, bad job. Bad job. Bad job. Even though my man Faneca got in, Hines Ward should have been in there with him. Yeah, just bad job.
Just bad.
I might be one of those NFL fans on social media. I'm gonna boycott the Hall of Fame. Nah, you'll never hear me or see me do that for that matter. But that's what Packers fans always wanted, was those big names to come to Green Bay. Green Bay, I'm sorry, is not a free agent's dream to go
it's freezing, all right?
Because it's cold as balls. Okay?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they got a tremendous fan base there.
They do. Green Bay, yeah. Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Dallas, they all got great fan bases, bro.
If you're a big name wide receiver or a big name running back, defensive player, whatever position you play, obviously you want to market yourself on and off the field, because that's what this league has become.
Yeah.
Because all these players got their own little things off the field. Like Aaron Rodgers with State Farm.
Yeah, State Farm.
And now Mahomes with State Farm, and you have Baker with Progressive.
Progressive in his own house.
And even Le'Veon trying to rap. How do you market yourself in Green Bay? You can't. That's why places like New York, LA, Florida, Philadelphia even, those are, in any sport, those are the top cities these players want to go to. You mean to tell me, let's say Eli Manning was still playing, and the Giants were like, oh, you know what, you're at the end of your career, we're not going to sign, we're not going to pick up whatever option left on your deal, right? And let's say, let's say like there was a team in, let's say like Idaho, right? Who the fuck was playing Idaho? I wouldn't.
Who's in Idaho? Oh,
exactly. I don't know. The NFL team would probably be the Idaho Potatoes, for all I know.
Well, he had no trade clause anyway in his contract. But
as far as the Super Bowl goes, unless something catastrophic happens, it's been my dream for a Brady, Roethlisberger Super Bowl. And people could say, well, they have Gronk, and they have this, and they have that. Listen, you can have all that all you want. But here's the thing. Anything can happen from wild card week up until the Super Bowl.
Because it says...
And it can happen to any team at any point. They said
Mike Evans is day-to-day, whatever, his game-time decision, whatever, because it's not that bad.
Well, somebody needs to go Nancy Kerrigan, not me.
I was just going to say, like, if they play him on the wild card game, against
I
the
wouldn't do it.
Washington football
I
team.
would
Ball
not do it.
people,
I wouldn't risk
they're
it.
the dumbest people.
I
They
wouldn't
got
do it
Brown,
because they have enough.
I know.
Because they have enough weapons there that
Plenty.
you don't need him for wild card week. You want to try to keep him out as long as you can.
Yep.
And in speaking of, I read earlier today, obviously, the whole Houston Texans situation with JJ.
And
Obviously, leaving Deshaun Watson now. Apparently, he's gone to certain teammates and said, "I might ask for a trade out of here."
He's not happy at all. Not happy.
I don't blame him.
He wasted the piss.
But then again, he let that deal blind him. But then again, Bill O'Brien probably promised him the world, like, "Oh, hey, if you sign this deal, we're gonna get this guy, this guy,
Hopkins,
this guy, and this guy." And then, case in point, you trade DeAndre Hopkins off for a running back who can't stay on the field.
That was just
and whatever picks you accumulated from Arizona, what have you done with them? Probably nothing. Houston, like Philly, like the Jets,
need to rebuild.
are three teams that just clear house.
No, Falcons still.
Just clean house.
Falcons still.
And rebuild from the ground up. In the Jets situation, you have Darnold you could build around. People could say, "Oh, I'm sick and tired of seeing Sam Darnold." Listen, you're a Jets fan that doesn't understand that if you put weapons around Darnold, watch how fast this team improves. You mean to tell me, if you're a Jet fan, you're not going to take next season with Darnold and let's say they get decent picks in the draft and they get one or two good wide receivers in free agency. Like, let's say they bring in Julio Jones. Even though he's older, you bring him in on like a 2-year, say $15 million deal. You're not going to pay him, you're not going to pay him number one receiver money anymore because he's not that anymore. And let's say you get a decent running back and a decent tight end, an offensive line, and you build up the defense. And let's say the Jets go 10-6.
That's a big improvement.
That's from going 2-15, 2-14 to going 10-6. Oh, actually no, it would be 11-5 because now you get on a 17-game season.
It'll be 11-6.
No, because you still get the bye week.
17-game season.
You know what? Just don't change an NFL because now you're just going to confuse the shit out of me. But whatever it is, it'll be a winning record.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me with Darnold you'd still be mad about that? I wouldn't. If I'm a Jets fan, I wouldn't be.
I have a prime example right here. Like Daniel Jones this year, all right, regressed since last year, like completely. He had 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. Okay.
But you can't fault that.
No, I'm not.
I'm
completely not ecstatic about Daniel Jones, but I've seen what he can do. He has an arm. If he had the protection, he'd be fine. And if Evan Ingram can catch the ball. I don't know how he made it to the Pro Bowl when he slipped in that thing. It was insane. But as long as we beef up the offensive line, create holes for Saquon Barkley, who will be back next year. Wayne Gallman had a hell of a year. You know what I mean? Not a hell of a year, but a better year. And you have to give him a weapon or two in this draft.
Well, they will. They will.
They better.
They will.
You talk about David Gettleman.
Well, listen. Speaking of that, they're keeping him. So
I know.
So you get you another year of Gettleman. And for those again with the Texans situation, if you didn't watch the video, like when with him and JJ walking off the field, if that video doesn't tell you that JJ's out the door, he literally
said goodbye without saying goodbye. Basically.
He took the weight of this shitty season for Houston and put it all on his back.
He did everything.
And he was the one who came to Deshaun Watson and apologized for an abysmal season and said we wasted one of your years on this wonderful deal that you got. And Deshaun Watson pretty much told him it's not your fault. And JJ said we should have had at least 11 wins. And JJ's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Should have.
But again, they would have though.
But again, you have to blame that on the inept GM who was the head coach, and now is Bill O'Brien. But now the reason why Deshaun Watson really wants out here is because of who the Texans just signed as the GM.
Oh.
Which was some exec from New England, Nick Cesaro, I think his name is. And I think that's the reason why Watson wants out now. Because a lot of people are saying that's the key factor to Watson wanting out is I guess there's some history with this guy with him. I'm not sure. Didn't really read into it.
Uh-huh.
You know, some of us have other things to do during the day other than read NFL reports all day. Like 40-year-old virgins in their basement who are keyboard warriors. So, that's, I think, I don't know if that's the true reason. You want my honest opinion why Deshaun Watson wants out? You want my honest opinion?
I see. You give me big contract.
Because here it is.
Best,
because here it is,
what
ready?
is it?
Here it is. You had Hopkins. You had J.J. Watt. And that's all you gave him. You gave him nothing else. And then you took DeAndre Hopkins and traded him off. And then you do nothing to replenish that at all.
Nope.
So I'm a kid like Deshaun Watson who has all the potential in the world
He passed for over 5,000 yards.
to win at least 2 to 3 Super Bowls before his career ends. And he's wasting it away in Houston.
He's wasted
the same way Julio Jones wasted his career in Atlanta. And the same way Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville is going to waste his career.
If they don't put weapons around him, I don't know.
And not only that,
in
that situation, somebody asked, is Urban Meyer worth $12 million considering the fact that Carolina pays Matt Rule $9 million a year? Urban Meyer is not worth $12 million to sign. Urban Meyer is not the coach you want in Jacksonville. Urban Meyer should stick to doing the college pregame shows on Fox and just stick to that. Okay? That's what he should stick to. If Jacksonville wants to improve, if I'm the owner, Shad Khan down there, I go with a younger coach who is more in tune with today's game. Because if Urban Meyer,
the defensive coordinator from San Francisco,
because if you're bringing in Urban Meyer, who's been out of coaching for a couple of years now, because he did go to Ohio State for a bit, but then there was the whole scandal with one of the coordinators choking his wife, and Urban Meyer's wife apparently knew about it, and you know
all this drama,
all that, right? So he stepped away from coaching.
Mm-hmm.
He went into broadcasting. Okay, stay to that, because now if you're going to go to Jacksonville and run this Florida Gator offense that you did with Tim Tebow, the shit ain't going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to get figured out in a matter of minutes, and Trevor Lawrence is going to get obliterated. Jacksonville's another team in this draft who has to get it right. Even Shad Khan came out and he said that he's disappointed that he hasn't been able to put a winning product on the field. There's been a lot of contributing factors to that. A lot of contributing factors that honestly you could literally write a book on all the factors. Bottom line is Tom Coughlin pretty much tore the team apart. You had inept coaching. You literally at one point didn't even know who your quarterback was going to be. You traded off all these pieces that were great pieces for them. I'm not saying that they went off and became better pieces somewhere else. Like Alan Hearns, I think it was that he went,
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey was... Oh, yeah, that's right. Jalen Ramsey was another one. But that one was more of a money thing. Jalen Ramsey wanted it, and I'm sorry. As much as he's improved this year, the guy's an asshole.
Well, I think
you showing up to training camp in a Brinks truck one year? Come on, man. No. But
Juju showed up riding his bike his first year. That's gangster.
Yeah, well, Juju on that beat, Juju on that bike. But
Juju made that dope.
And that's another thing, because like Jacksonville's got a lot of questions to answer. The Jets got a lot of questions to answer.
If Jacksonville drafts Trevor Lawrence, they have to do something that offensive line protects.
I think they actually have the most money coming off the books, if I'm not mistaken. I think they got almost like $80 million, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look.
I think the Giants are 16th with like barely nothing.
Well, yeah, I think you guys are like in the red.
Yes, I think we got to get rid of Nate Solder. Goodbye. Please get the fuck away from me. I can't stand him.
Well, yeah, you got to get rid of him. You got to get rid of Golden Tate.
The Golden Tate.
With the 11th pick, and this is the other thing that annoys me with, and I exclude you from this because you're one of the knowledgeable Giants fans. Why in the world, week 17, you play the Cowgirls? Why would you win that game? You now went from the 8th pick to the 11th pick.
I know.
So now, what's going to be there at 11? Mock drafts, listen, they're called mock drafts for a reason. Kyle Pitts could still be there. Obviously, Devonta Smith, which thank God Heisman Committee got that right. Okay? Because if Trevor Lawrence had won it, I'm sorry, he didn't play all the games that he was supposed to play, and, you could blame COVID for that, but Devonta Smith was the flat-out winner. All year.
The only team who have draft picks ahead of us, who I believe is a draft receiver, is definitely the Eagles. It's going to be Jacksonville Jets, Falcons.
No, I think the Falcons, if Justin Fields falls to 4, I think they take Justin Fields. That's assuming the Jets, like the Knicks, botch another draft.
Yeah, I know, because I came out today that the Falcons want to clear house. Means Matt Ryan, Julio Jones.
Well, Julio Jones
He's a free agent,
Julio
yeah.
Jones for the past year and a half has been talked about as being a big trade piece. So it's a matter of, and if I'm Atlanta, I take what's offered. Don't make the Jets mistake with Le'Veon Bell, where you literally,
Well, he's a free agent.
where
this
you
year.
literally wanted, where like when the Jets were trying to trade Bell, and they wanted this, and that. What are you getting for a guy who's pretty much washed up now?
I know. He
And
averaged 2.9 yards.
at a young age. He went from Pro Bowler to no baller
I know.
in a matter of a year. And that's because of his stupid agent and
The horrible offensive line cannot create holes.
Yeah.
Dude, he averaged like 2.9 carries a game. Meanwhile, with you guys, he averaged almost 6 carries. Come on.
but yeah, Pittsburgh are frauds though. No, just saying. But what else was interesting today, non-football related, and I knew the Mets would make a splash somehow now that they have a new owner.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mets got Lindor, right?
It's Francisco Lindor.
But here's the thing. I'm not knocking the trade entirely till this point. You traded not only Ahmed Rosario, but you traded your second option at shortstop, plus a pair of minor leaguers. And yeah, you get Carlos Carrasco in the deal, so you get another pitcher. Listen, I understand that. So you actually get a little bit more than what you're giving away. But here's the thing. And I said it in other podcasts. If you're going to trade for Lindor, you need to have that extension ready. Because now, what if he doesn't re-sign? What if he just uses the Mets as a way to get to, let's say, L.A. or even across the way to the Bronx?
Shit, in LA with Mookie Betts, too? Oh, my God.
And not only that now, and speaking of L.A., they're now in the LeMahieu hunt. So I don't know what Cashman's doing,
You know,
but he's gotta get up off his ass.
I think he's waiting to see what everybody else is offering, and he's going to come up a little bit higher. He's going to have to. You have to sign
He
that
should have
guy.
just did that already.
Not because other teams come up higher. You don't know.
I think if LeMahieu
Dude,
got the
that's
deal
crazy.
he wanted, I don't think LeMahieu really wants to go anywhere else.
He doesn't.
Because he was good in Colorado, but he came here
he was.
and he has vastly improved. I don't care what anybody says. You could be a Yankee hater or a Yankee lover.
Yeah,
and
you don't
can-
watch the games. You don't know what the hell's going on.
If you don't realize that the guy literally goes like 3 for 4, 3 for 5 almost every night,
Yep.
and in a shortened season almost hit for 400.
What is batting? What is his
He-
back with 340 something, 350 something?
I think it was like almost 360.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's insane.
So that's a guy you got to sign. And then when you're talking about Jacksonville getting the defensive coordinator, right?
Yep.
From San Francisco,
Uh huh.
he will get a job.
I know
He will. Eric Bieniemy will be a coach somewhere.
I love his last name too. That's why.
You know, listen, the guy that defensive coordinator,
He's an animal.
he coaches from here.
You can tell on the sidelines, bro.
He
You can tell.
is.
You can
listen,
tell his face
I would-
is red. You know,
I would listen. I'd get rid of Keith Butler in a heartbeat for him. I definitely would. You know, and that's the other thing too is because they were talking about like the Cleveland situation. Alex Van Pelt is going to be the coach for the Browns,
Yeah, calling plays. Yeah.
and so the media asked, I think like on Steeler Nation Unite, Missy Matthews asked Tomlin, so what's your contingency plan in the event you can't coach in the unfortunate circumstance you catch COVID, right? Just as a hypothetical, she asked, because of the Cleveland situation.
Ben.
So he said, yeah, we have a contingency plan, but I'm not letting it out.
I know who it is. Ben.
No.
Who?
How could it be Ben? Ben's playing.
He make call his own plays. What are you talking about?
See, my thing would be this, and it's not Fichtner, and everybody thinks it would be Fichtner. And you
I
could
knew
call
it
me
was
crazy,
because you can't
but
stand
this
him.
is where I watch everything in the game. You have a quarterback who's barely active. Not Mason. Dobbs. Dobbs is constantly on the Microsoft tablet drawing up plays. Watching plays on the tablet all game. He drew up some of the plays in certain games, in certain situations, that gave the Steelers either a win or helped them come back in games. A lot of people don't know about it.
Well, what that Colt game was all around too, right?
No,
Well, that was all Ben then.
no, that was all Ben.
That
That was Ben bringing back like the 08
Yeah, he
Steelers
did. Yeah, I heard.
back to life.
That's what I heard.
Dobbs would be the guy I would want calling the plays, not Fichtner.
Yo,
Because we all see how the offense is when Fichtner calls
on
the
some
plays.
real thing, on some real stuff though, yo. When you guys do play the Buffalo, yeah, Ben's got to pull some shit on his ass.
And
I'm sorry.
the thing is with that is,
You guys are playing in Buffalo.
well, that's the other reason why I would want a Colt upset, because then we get another playoff game in Heinz Field.
That'd be awesome. That'd be sick.
But I don't think Rivers has enough left in him
Against Josh Allen.
against Josh
Diggs.
Allen and Diggs.
Oh man, Cole Beasley, ouch.
And I'm not saying the Steelers Bill game is going to be a cakewalk. You know, like earlier when I said, they got to it's going to be the 11-0 team and everybody better watch out. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park against Buffalo.
But what you have to?
But what I'm saying is that if you don't think between now and that game, you don't think the run game is going to improve,
Yep.
it has to, starting this Sunday night.
I know.
And if I got to watch another video of some hick incest hybrided piece of shit burning the terrible towel and then dropping the N-bomb like it's nobody's business, keep doing it, because now look, it's karma. Every time you fuck with the terrible towel, look what happens. Case in point, Stefanski, you got COVID. Keep doing it, Cleveland. Keep doing it. Nothing rocks. The only thing that rocks in Cleveland is you all getting COVID.
Jedrick Wills Jr.
And that's the other thing.
Not
We didn't even
playing.
get into that.
Oh yeah.
Your post celebration is drag racing. In what? A Jeep Grand Cherokee?
I know. I see. It was Jedrick.
There was actually a
Wills
video
Jr.
of Higgins getting pulled over by the cops for doing
Yup,
it.
and there was marijuana involved in that too.
Yeah, well,
So you're down a receiver. You're down the offensive lineman that I kind of wanted instead of Andrew Thomas, Mr. Gelman. He ain't gonna be there either. So, but watch out.
I don't even care if they're there or not.
I'm just saying, watch out, Mayfield. Watt's coming for you.
I don't even care if they're there or not, because you squeezed the win out of your ass by 2 points against Mason Rudolph.
And they
Again.
and they have 40 sack team.
Again, Mason Rudolph with your team at full strength. And then you have these god-awful playoff shirts made, which I would rather use to wipe my ass. Okay? Then you're sitting there, and then you tweet out, oh, Jump Around is dedicated to what we did to Pittsburgh. First off, we don't have anything to do with House of Pain Jump Around, and you didn't do that much jumping. Okay? Maybe you were up by 17 at one point, but then Mason grew a pair of balls. Between the first half and the second half, it was like Mason Rudolph at like 11 years old. He went to the locker room, had a wet dream, and his balls
He
dropped.
had those 3 long bombs. One to Deontay, one to Juju.
But again, and I rarely say this, but I'm going to say this, since all the haters want to say it, when the Steelers win and they want to claim the refs helped us win the game. Cleveland, thank the NFL officiating for that one, because they handed you a win at every point. As they were handing you a win, you found ways to almost throw it away. And again, for those who said Alex Highsmith would be nothing in this league, again,
He was so slammed last week too.
he proves you wrong yet again. And how did he prove you wrong? Oh, I don't know. He made the all-rookie team with, the other guy that everybody said, why did we draft this guy? Dotson. Oh, and who was the third? Hold on. He went to Notre Dame. He was a wide receiver. Comes from Canada.
Oh,
Rhymes
is that
with-
Claypool?
Rhymes with Megatron. Oh, yeah, Napletron.
Ooh.
Chase Claypool. That's right.
Yep.
All these guys would do nothing. But yet Dotson had like the 5th highest QB pressure protection rate all year.
Claypool was like, what, 12 touchdown catches?
Something like that.
Yeah, as a rookie. That's fucking awesome, dude.
And then, not only that, Dotson only has, out of every offensive lineman, only one time did somebody get by him. One time.
I wish I could say the same for Andrew Thomas.
One time. Whereas Andrew Thomas, it was like 45 to 100 times.
That's why Daniel Jones gets injured.
Okay? So, if you don't think that those 3 pieces in last year's draft aren't the future of the Steeler team, you're sadly mistaken because Claypool's only going to get better. Dotson's only going to get better.
Claypool's
And
only
Alex
gonna
Highsmith,
It's only going to
and
get better.
I'm saying this now,
It's gonna
is going to be
A-hole.
the next TJ Watt. I'm telling you it's going to
Or
happen.
the next Ryan Shazier.
It's going to happen.
Because TJ Watt's going to be
And-
right there next to him. So.
And not only that, think about this. With next
year,
season coming,
Bud Dupree comes back. Well,
we gotta
mid-season.
listen. See, Highsmith's kind of
Yeah,
made that hard now
I know.
because of the way he's been playing. See, I had to sit there and read. See, a lot of people are giving Highsmith the praise he deserves,
Yeah.
and I've been saying it since the draft. So.
Yeah.
For all you finally realizing it now, you should have realized it at the draft. You probably, maybe when your team drafts somebody, you should go and watch their tapes to see what they did in college to get a feel of what they're going to do on the professional
that's
level.
what user people do, but that's what I do. But okay.
So, he's proven to me now that if we can't get Bud Dupree to re-sign or even take another franchise tag, which he probably won't because the injury proving that fact,
And plus, you guys have a bunch of signing to do, actually.
that if he were to walk, we're still...
You guys think
Alex
okay.
Highsmith filled in perfectly fine. That Alex Highsmith, in essence, you can say, like when Connor when Connor took over for Bell and was a beast in his first, and when they gave him the starting job, when Bell was like, oh yeah, I'll be there week 3, or I'll be there week 8. Oh no, I'm going to be there week 11. No, and then Connor ran all over everybody. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Highsmith has now made it that much more difficult for the Steeler organization to decide: do we try to bring Bud back or do we let Bud walk? But if you let Bud walk and Bud becomes the Bud Dupree he was before TJ got there, which really wasn't that good, if you want my honest opinion, really wasn't that great of a player till TJ kind of got there, and then that's kind of what built Bud Dupree's value up, was having somebody like TJ alongside him.
But now with the torn ACL,
right?
It's going to bring his value down a bit.
The injury brings him down, but if he comes back, obviously coming back healthy, and let's say he goes to another team, I don't see him still being that impact player he was in Pittsburgh. I don't see it.
It's a whole different system.
So, and not only that, are they going to have somebody on the opposite side who is
just as good as TJ?
Who is just as good as TJ that he's being double teamed, leaves you on one-on-one blocking. Highsmith's going to become that problem. Because now, not only are you going to have to double team Watt, you're going to have to double team Highsmith.
And that leaves that hole open.
And that leaves that open for Cam Hayward all day and
right down the middle, baby. Whee.
So, would I love to see Bud Dupree back in a Steeler jersey?
Yeah.
I would.
It'll cost you guys some money.
But I'm not breaking the bank.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they don't have a bank to break. Because think about it, you got to sign Juju.
Why?